Okay, I hope you guys are doing well. Day 1 of hidden inventory is complete, and now I have time to record a Miwa video. So Miwa was confirmed to this morning, I guess, officially. And she's coming alongside a kind of popular Yaga image that a lot of people were thirsting over when Miyamura posted it. I think that's his name. The leaker guy that no one likes or everyone likes. I don't even know. I just see a lot of hate comments for him. I don't really care. He keeps me updated, so it's cool. And people were thirsting over this Yaga, but Miwa's art looks fucking phenomenal. They have been since the first anniversary, since Kaido's art. They have been on an absolute roll. Since this art in specific, oh my god, it's beautiful. They've been on a roll. So in this video, what are we discussing? Well, the time you are watching this, Miwa just released. The exact minute I posted this, I scheduled it so that Miwa would be released, which should be 1 a.m. EST. Now, we have her full kit. So we're going to be talking about Miwa's kit and also relating it to Mekamaru because she is a Kyoto student, which means Mekamaru is going to get his buffs of extra break damage and damage increase. And Miwa is a standard banner unit, which means in the future she's going to go on standard. And good news, Miwa is, well, not someone you need to summon on, and neither is Mekamaru. So you could easily wait for them to be on standard, which is a complete and utter W for sure. Now, let's just head into it, all right? Oh wait, let me pull up one sec. So this is Miwa's art. It's beautiful. It's genuinely just absolutely beautiful. And this is her stats and all that. So we're gonna put this in translator because I honestly, off the top of my head, could not tell me, or you couldn't ask me which one's taijutsu and jujutsu. So she has 9k taijutsu and then 7.2k jujutsu. All right, 25k HP. Combat power is 14k maxed. She has a buff skill, the rest are attacks, and 4 passives. Kind of crazy to think about. Her ult, oh my god, is that the highest amount in the game? I'm not even kidding when I say this. Is 1700 the highest amount? Because Yuta's is 1558, which is high. I know Domain Gojo's is relatively similar. 1558 seems to be the max. But 1700, there might be someone with it that I'm forgetting. Just off the top of my head, no one has that big of a number for an ultimate. That's crazy. It really does seem like 15 is the highest. Okay. That's definitely something. That is 17. Okay, Degumi. Okay. So Degumi's the only other unit with that amount, it seems. Let me know if there's others. Sorry. So, she's green, which is essentially to be used with Mekamaru, because remember, Mekamaru is a green DPS. So what is Miwa? Now, I was having this discussion with one of the JJK staff, and look, Mekamaru is green, so they're meant to be ran on mono. And he was arguing that Miwa is more of a hybrid tank, but at the end of the day, what you're asking out of Miwa when we go over her kit is to do damage. It's 95% damage, 5% tanking abilities. Even if you have tanking abilities, those are, at the end of the day, only to make sure you don't die. Okay, let's get into it. So, 4 passives all in this. So, when in counter state, deals 100% counter damage when attacked. Changes multiplier depending on skill used. Increases own taijutsu by 20% for 3 turns. And increases Bato count by 4 when counter is performed. So, they want you to counter. Now, the thing is with countering, right? Is that if you do counter, first of all, you're going to take damage. She has no healing abilities, and she only has some damage reduction. While in simple domain state, reduces damage reduction, jujutsu damage received by 20%, nullifies domain expansion effects on self. When counter state is cancelled, so is simple domain state. Alright, so this is the only amount of damage reduction she has in her whole kit, which means if you're on a jujutsu stage, you need to be playing with Blue Ghetto. It's just Domain Gojo, Blue Ghetto, anyone to lower damage, and Miwa will be fine. But if there's no other damage reduction, she's going to take too much damage. Then you encounter a problem. Okay, so then if you're trying to get Kyoto units, well, guess what? You're going to need Momo. You're going to want Mekamaru as a more paid player, right? And then it's oh, you have 1 slot left, which means you could only have Domain Gojo or Ghetto. And then it's oh yeah, you're barely getting any damage increase from outside, and also the damage lowers are lower. So it's just, I am so sorry. The way that they have it is very weird. So we're gonna critique her kit more as we go along. Grants effects to self based on number of battle counts at the start of the turn. 1 count or higher, 11% taijutsu increase. 4 counts, 14% alt gauge charge rate increase. 18 counts, 50% crit damage increase. 24 counts, CE consumption efficiency, which means it's gonna cost less. Taijutsu increase and alt gauge charge rate increase go up by 1% for each count, up to 50% each at 40 counts. Using a skill increases count by 1 up to 40. So the thing is, right? The thing is, this is all damage stuff. So she is, listen, 11% taijutsu, 50% crit damage, 14% alt gauge to do your damage quicker, and also CE consumption efficiency alongside taijutsu increase and alt charge rate. Oh wow, wait. So when you get to like 40 counts, you're gonna have 64% alt charge rate. Like, is she not gonna be alting a lot? I feel like she's gonna alt a lot, even with such high alt count. She should alt a lot. Which, the thing is, I honestly think, now that I've seen that, you know what's the best recollection bit for her? And I'm being serious, right? This is her best recollection bit. Because she's gonna get alt even quicker, and it's taijutsu, right? I think this would be good. I think. Let's go on. Now, this is where it's like, So increases own damage at the start of the turn based on how many Kyoto students are present at the start of the wave. Self-excluded. 1, 20% increase. 2, self-included, sorry. So 1, you just get an outright 20% increase. If you have Momo, for example, you get a 30% with 2 units. If you have Mechamaru, that's a 40%. And 4 units, if there's a Toto or something, then you get 50% damage increase. So she's got a max. Usually, the most you're going to get is around 30% on average. Because why would you, like, put Mechamaru when you could use Domain Gojo, right? But to be honest, right, acknowledging this, right, there is the fact that Mechamaru, like, sure, you're going to lose out on damage increases, but Mechamaru is going to increase the amount of damage done by 2 different units. So that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, you're losing out on the amount of damage increase you get on Miwa from having a support, but instead you have a DPS who could also do damage. So we're going to have to test stuff out. But if we check here, 50% crit damage, 40% taijutsu, 11% taijutsu, 30 to 40% damage increase, right? It's a lot of increases alongside a 20% taijutsu. Like, her damage is not going to be low. I don't think so. But we're going to continue along. Okay. I like to use Blue Gojo as a metric for a lot of stuff. And, like, in total, he's just getting, like, a 250% damage increase, right? Which is very good. But Miwa, like, I don't know, the more I see it, it's like, what, you get, if you crit, you're good. But the thing is, you're not always going to be critting, right? I wish it was crit rate and crit damage, but it is what it is. Now then, the skills. So skill 1, if counter state is active, gains 3 Bato counts. Actually, skill 1 is going to be good, because that means it gets 4 right away. After skill is used, cancels counter state and simple domain state. Never mind. Never mind. So, yeah, never mind. Now, skill 2. It's the buff. Increases own taijutsu by 20%. Okay. Then, activates counter state for 2 turns and simple domain state. If Bato count is 15 or above when attacking. Also deals 300% AoE. That's actually really good. And then, counter state. When targeted by enemy attacks, deals 100% taijutsu as counter damage. Alright. If Bato count is 10 or above, sorry, becomes 200% damage. Overall, considering how many times you could get hit, and this could be every turn, this means every single turn you're getting an extra 200 damage, right? So overall, that's not bad. Now, skill 3, especially when... okay, let's just, like, tally everything up. I just want to tally it up. This was for my previous video. So you could get taijutsu 20%, okay. And then you could get another 20% taijutsu. No? Yeah. So when counter state, you get it for... Wait, whoa. Increases own... Wait, this stacks? Huh. Okay, so wait, if you get attacked every single turn, this could stack twice. So, taijutsu 20%, taijutsu 20%, taijutsu 20%. This is from the skill 2. And this is from counter. Okay, so I just want to make sure... Bro, wait, that stacking is huge. That's an extra 20% that I thought it was. Okay. And then you could get another 11% taijutsu. Okay. And then you could get 50% C damage, right? And then you could also get up to another 50% taijutsu, right? So we're going to say 50% taijutsu. Or I should do it the other way. Sorry. Let me keep it in order. C damage, 50%. Okay. Taijutsu. I kind of want her now. And then we'll say 30% damage. Damage 30%. Look at all these buffs. So that's up to what? 71% taijutsu. Sorry. 121% taijutsu. 30% damage. 50% crit damage. And she's doing a bunch of counters. So it's like she's doing extra damage. So her damage should be like pretty fucking good, I would say. Now, oh, her skill 3 actually does give her crit rate. The problem is I hate that it's 2-turn buffs. If it was like 4 turns, that would be huge. So the skill 3, all right, let's read. 420% taijutsu, crit rate, increases own Bato count by 2, cancels counter state and simple domain state after skill is performed. If Bato count is 10 or above, grants counter state to self 2 turns and simple domain state. Okay. Counter state, when targeted by enemy, deals 200% of 100% taijutsu as counter damage. So even 200% could be actually very good damage. If you have a lot of damage increases, just looking at it, 200% is a baseline of 18k taijutsu, but then you could have like way higher damage, right? So actually, I don't mind that. Sorry, I really don't mind that. Now the alt, it is only $8.99. Yeah, it is only $8.99. But considering that's similar to Blue Gojo's damage and she's getting similar buffs, it's gonna be pretty good because remember, she's getting a lot of taijutsu, some damage, and then even more taijutsu here, right? So this is 3 turns. So the way that it would go is you use your alt, then you use your skill 2, and then that's the max amount of taijutsu increase you could have, right? Because you get from the skill 2, it's for 2 turns, which means there's going to be 1 turn where you have like 80, 91, 141% taijutsu. Pretty decent. Then you get counter stay for 2 turns, and when targeted by enemy attack, deals 100% of 100% taijutsu as counter damage. Now, you really want to get your Bato counts higher so that you could get the increased alt gauge. But once you get that up, I honestly, like, now that I'm realizing, like, her damage is definitely not going to be bad. Now, from what I'm realizing, let me know if I'm alone on this, she seems to be someone you're going to be using in the new mode because that's for 17 turns. So Miwa, by the end of the battle, is going to be fucking nuts with taking less cursed energy, higher crit damage, higher alt gauge, alongside more alt gauge, right? I really think that she can be a very, very good unit for that mode, but we're gonna have to see how Mechamaru is. The problem is I'm not gonna probably be able to get Mechamaru and Miwa unless I get very lucky, so that is unfortunate. But I do like what Miwa is providing, right? I do like what Miwa is providing because it's genuinely good, right? The damage is not too high alone here, but then you add 200 every single turn if she gets hit. That's the problem also, is that what if she doesn't get hit, right? Or what if she takes too much damage, for example? So you might want to have a healing recollection bit just in case. But I think she is going to be meant for the green type of the new game mode. I forgot the the Cursed Spirit Extermination battle. Because also this taunt is good because it's going to allow you to get an extra 200 damage, right? So overall, I'm giving her an S rating right now. Not for Tower though. Tower, she's A. But in the Cursed Spirit, she seems to be an S tier unit. And I probably want to have fun with her. Now, the Recollection Bit is the one on top, where it increases own taijutsu by 85%. And then at the start of the turn, when self is in counter state, increases own damage by 30%, which is pretty good. I actually think that's good. Because I think this also goes for all your attacks. So you're just getting an extra 30%. And this is only usable by Miwa. So I think that extra 30% is actually very big. So that kind of leaves us with everything, right? If Mechamaru is a very good unit, Miwa might actually have a spot. She is 100% a DPS with very small tanking capabilities, but actually very good. Actually very good. I think right now, in terms of greens, I wish they could sort it out by greens, but right now, okay, I'd still say Hollow Purple 1. If we take, okay, for this new game mode, Hollow Purple 1, Itadori 2nd, Miwa 3rd, Nanami 4th. And then you got like Ghetto. I have actually, I'm not sure where I'd rate these 3. I'm not going to act like I know too much of their kits, right? Haven't used them. She's probably not even touching Miwa. I don't think so. It doesn't seem so, at least. I don't think so. Like, she looks pretty decent, just I'm not sure about that. But let's check the tier list out. Just kind of looking at the greens, like I could see her for the Cursed Spirit specifically slotting in S tier, but we'll have to see on that. We'll definitely have to see on that. Because now with the thing is, Itadori now with his buffs is just getting so much extra damage that it's like this goes to 100% and then he has 50% Black Flash damage now. So it's like Itadori is a little too strong now. But we'll have to see. We will have to see. I'm really happy with this Miwa now that I've looked over her kit extensively. And I think she's a skip still. She's not super duper good. But for the new game mode, I kind of want to get her just to have fun with her in there. And her art is beautiful. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know what you think of the GOAT Miwa. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good one. Bye-bye.